Polo Cup action is proudly brought to you by Astron Energy, Volkswagen Motorsport, and Dunlop Tires. Welcome to the Mother City in the penultimate round of the Extreme Festival of Motorsport, proudly presented by Coca-Cola. And of course, we are here for Rookie Cup and Polo Cup action this weekend. 3 races of Polo Cup, but we start with the rookies first. And it is a spectacular start. As expected, there was only 3 points coming into this round, and Josh Moore, looking to try and close the gap down, got a fantastic start heading down into turn 1. Christopher Tate following him through. Very good start coming out of Berlin Robinson as well, as she came through and put herself into the running for a potential podium, sitting there in about 4th or 5th place as they went down to turn 2. Josh Moore started to pull away ever so slightly, but then under braking, Chris Tate was right there with him. Zia Khan just tucked in behind that, and Mauro Deleuze finding some seriously good pace here in race number 1. Slowly but surely making his way to the front end, Mauro looked like he was in with a chance and was going to give Tate a bit of a run down the back straight away. Slipstream is a massive factor in this category, potentially and particularly because of these cars being so evenly matched. As they went down that back straight away, it was a case of Chris Tate looking for the slipstream, pulling out onto the outside line, and bang, straight into the side of Josh Moore. Moore went into the kitty litter. Tate, fortunately, was able to get it back and turned right on the inside, cutting back onto that high banking and got himself back into the race. But Josh Moore, as you can see, ended up on the sideline, having to go the long way around Astron corner and get back out onto the black stuff. That is certainly going to have a massive look at how things go with this championship. That's the replay. You can see Chris on the outside trying to find a way through. There was no way through there. Josh had the line, and the two of them touched. Have to get that sorted out afterwards. But as they headed off into the distance now, it was Tate trying to come back through the field. He was able to get back onto the circuit. They both had to come in, though, for repairs, and that allowed Berlin Robinson to move it up nicely just ahead of Luke Hill, potentially in for a chance of the first lady on a podium in Rookie Cup. Zia Khan had got away at the front end and was a dominant factor ahead of Mauro Deleuze, pulling away up to the tune of about 5 seconds. Deleuze coming through for second, and incredibly, first time ever for the young lady Berlin Robinson to be on the podium in Rookie Cup, and the first lady to ever be on the overall podium for a race as well. Fantastic effort there from her, beating Luke Hill to the line, and Luke Corbett not too far behind that. Also found some good pace in the closing stages. Tate and Moore did finish up eventually, and on those official results you'll see they ended up down in 6th and 7th place, which will turn this championship completely on its head. And we caught up with the ecstatic Berlin Robinson.
I'm so glad I finished the race. This was the best performance I've had the whole year, so at least there's been a lot of improvement.
Lots of work to be done in between for the teams. That would have to be done, of course, in time for race number 2. And as they lined up for race number 2, who would get the whole shot? We were waiting to see frantically whether or not there would be some more action between Chris Tate and Josh Moore, the championship leaders. As they headed down towards turn 1, Berlin had got the whole shot out of pole position, and then behind that, huge action as Mauro Deleuze got sent sideways, losing the front bumper. A big action already into that first corner. Let's have a look at it one more time. You can see just being tagged in the background there. It looks like it came from Tate, a little bit of a maneuvering through there, and Tate started to make his way through relatively from the word go. Berlin dropped back into the clutches of Mauro Deleuze, who was recovering, and Luke Hill and Corbett were right there as well. Fantastic to see the two Lukes with massive improvements this weekend. But out front, it was Chris Tate who'd got his head down and was looking to try and get away from Josh Moore. Josh Moore trying to get a little bit of redemption if he could. And third place, eventually, from a little bit of time at the front end of the field, went to Berlin Robinson. She was looking for another podium here and a potential overall for the weekend as well. Deleuze eventually finding his way through and finding it difficult to get through on both of the Lukes. Corbett and Hill were not making it easy there. And Mauro had to do some serious work down that back straightaway. And getting into the slipstream, looking for a way to get past on Berlin Robinson. That is exactly what he needed. As they came down into the closing stages, though, Tate looked like he was going to hang on here. Deleuze eventually diving on the inside. Berlin opened up the door, and that was all it took to get that car through. And then a little bit sideways. Whoa, well held. Brilliant stuff there, but only just held together there as Mauro Deleuze came through and gave her a little extra tap to get through. So Berlin dropped there from a 3rd place, potentially on the day for the 2nd time, down into 5th place, losing the ground there in the closing stages with 2 little mistakes, opening up the door, first of all, for Mauro Deleuze, and then Zia Khan to come through as well for 4 and 5. That wrapped up a fantastic day and really intense bit of racing there for this championship. Heading to the final round at Swartkops, there's definitely going to be some battles to be sorted out. Chris Tate taking the victory in race 2 ahead of Josh Moore, with Mauro Deleuze the final man on the podium, and we caught up with race 2 winner Chris Tate.
From 5th, turn 1 was a manhunt. Everybody diving for turn one. There's traded paint, rubber everywhere. But that was a fun race.
We look forward to seeing how this championship gets wrapped up at Swartkorps on the 25th of October, with 1 point in it between Tate and Moore. Join us after the break for Astron Energy Polo Cup. It's the penultimate round of the Astron Energy Polo Cup. We head down to the mother city, and with that, and after all the chaos at East London, it's a 3-race format that we're looking forward to. But first, we've got to get qualifying out of the way, and let's see what these guys and girls have got in store for us as they head into the Killarney International Raceway for the first time, and to see who's going to be at the top end. Mo Karodia leads the championship coming into this round, and he's going to be pressured big time by Rory Atkinson to see if he can try and close that gap down and see what he can do at the front end. But a big surprise, Hannes Skeepers getting to the top ahead of Atkinson, Berthold and Karodia only down in 5th place. But your top 6 was split by less than 1/10 of a second. And as you can see, Hannes Skeepers is exceptionally happy with his first pole.
We've always known it's like just around the corner. And I need to say thank you to Dion and the team for giving us this first pole.
Judd Berthold in the top 6 for Super Pole as well.
I mean, let's just keep it going, try and do what I did in the normal qualifying and just get a clean lap in.
3 cars at a time. Srin Rajpal will let them get going here for Super Pole. Mo Karodia starting from 5th as you saw. Not quite where he wants to be. Let's see if we can get a clean lap in. Remember, it's only 1 flying lap that each of these competitors get. Tyler Robinson also looking to improve ever so slightly. And can Skeepers do it all again and put it back onto the front end after he got it right in qualifying? It wasn't to be. Rory Atkinson on pole.
So relieved, man. What a privilege, and thanks to the team at Industry Petroleum for the car. It was just incredible.
Very close in the Masters as well for Derek Smallberger, putting it on pole position.
25-1, I thought it's not going to be enough, but it's 8,000s that I got John with, and very happy.
So it'll be John Kruger in 2nd place, Wayne Masters in 3rd, and Mike Barbaglia making up the top 4 in the Masters category. There's confirmation of Atkinson's pole, 3,000 Rand in the kitty. That'll work. And I'm sure Derek will be enjoying that too. As the cars roll out now, we get ready for race number 1 of 3 in the Astron Energy Polo Cup. It's Dr. Hannes Skeepers who will be looking forward to fighting hard here at the front end. Can he outgun Rory Atkinson, who did exactly that yesterday in the Super Pole? It's a good start here from Skeepers. He gets off the line nicely. He comes up alongside the Industrial Petroleum car there of Rory Atkinson. But Atkinson was just better on the brakes heading into turn 1. Let's see if he can keep it all together as they come in there. Ooh, good start there from Tyler Robinson. That's on the outside, Judd Berthold. Just behind him comes Srin Rajpal. On the inside of the two of them is Roshan Goodman looking for a way through on Mo Karodia. Karodia running wide, the championship leader, making a small mistake coming out of turn 1 there with a bit of work to do. The pressure is on that championship leader as they head towards Castrol for the first time. On the brakes, oh, that is close. Great dive on the inside from Rajpal, forcing Berthold wide. He has to come out and slot in behind the man from KwaZulu-Natal. So they are working hard in that works team, that is for sure. Hannes is up in 2nd place and Srin already into 4th. And they've got a little bit of work to do to try and catch Tyler Robinson just ahead there for Srin. And then Mo Karodia with the most amount of work to do. Check it, who's on his tail. You've got Divyan Naidu looking for a way through. Ethan Kutsia, his teammate, is tucked in just behind that. Then a little bit of a gap down to Roshan. Roshan has got Nirav Singh right on his tail in the Kylarney exhaust car. Then Bevan Masters and Milan Emsley bringing up the tail end of that field. We go on board here with Tyler. She heads down towards turn 5. This is absolutely everything she's got in the car, and now very late on the brakes to try and close that gap down on the top 2. She's pulled about half a car length there on Dr. Hannes Skeepers. Skeepers now trying to do the same thing there to Rory. Big dive on the inside from Srin, but late braking from Judd Berthold brought him almost side by side there with the Dub Cool car machine coming out of turn 5. They're still side by side onto the main straightaway. Who's going to have what it takes here as they come under the bridge and down towards that first turn? The advantage is on the inside line there for Berthold, but you're definitely going to have late braking coming from the man from KwaZulu-Natal. As his teammate does the same thing into turn 1. Hannes Skeepers on board with him there, getting through to the lead and getting ahead of Rory Atkinson. Here comes Tyler. She's trying to try and pounce now. Rory might have missed the gear coming out of turn 1 there by the looks of it, losing a little bit of ground, and Tyler puts the pressure on almost instantaneously. Tyler Robinson looking for a way to get past Rory Atkinson, realizing that if Dr. Hannes Skeepers gets away, there's a chance that he might be able to hang on to that pace and look for his first victory in Polo Cup. He's been hunting that pole position. He got it yesterday. Now he's hunting the first victory. They usually come in 2s. We'll have to wait and see if that's the case and how the luck goes. Atkinson keeps out Tyler for now. A little bit of a gap down to Berthold. Berthold loses a little bit of ground as well to Srin Rajpal. Rajpal having to just defend, and by that he lost the ground to Berthold, and now losing ground to the fighters that are coming from behind in Mo Karodia, Divya Naidu and Ethan Kutsia. Back on board with the young lady as she heads down here. Remember, she's taken a victory here in the past. She's also taken pole positions here in the past, so loves this circuit in the AF fans and Team Redcar. And once again, very late on the brakes, trying to close that gap on Atkinson. Hasn't quite got there. It's about 1.5 car lengths that she's got to try and make up in that machine of hers. Runs a bit wide, putting those Dunlops on the dirt is not the ideal thing to do. Rajpal down the gearbox. Does he go push to pass? Is he going to try and bridge that gap with a little push to pass mechanism they've got in these cars? No, he doesn't. He just uses the gearbox. And look at it, what's happening ahead of him. Oh, Berthold trying to find a way through there, splitting himself between the wall and Tyler Robinson. And that just ran him wide. He was too hot down into turn 1, and Rajpal said, I'll have that all day. Gets up the inside and slots up into 4th place behind Tyler Robinson. Further back in the back, this is the Masters category. The Sabertech car still leading out John Kruger, so it's Smallberger from Kruger from Masters, and then Barbaglia. Mike's lost a little bit of ground to these top 3, but needless to say, it's Wayne Masters I'm concerned about. This is not the kind of pace we've seen out of Masters all season long. He's been the man to beat this weekend, but man, found wanting slightly. Let's see what he's got at the end of the race though. Mo Karodia is battling, our championship leader, to the tune of 12 points coming into this race. 11 because he would have lost that extra point, of course, to the doctor. He has now got some huge mountains to climb here, and there's a pun intended on that one when we were in Cape Town, because Divya Naidu found a way past him. He's trying to come back at him. That Foss 5 and Lee Thompson racing car just slots through, and here comes his teammate along for the ride too. Great timing there from Ethan Kutsia. He saw the door opened up by Mo and tucked in behind and got through on that Production X car of Divya Naidu. Hasn't got quite there yet. They're still side by side, but I think he potentially might have a better run to turn 1. As the Masters come out of Cashel, that's turn 2. Kruger pulling away slightly now from Wayne Masters. Oh, that's Hunter Skippers, the leader. He slowed up. The DDS car is pulled to the sideline. There's a problem on that car, and that is going to gift Rory Atkinson the victory here. That was about a lap and a half to go, maybe even less. And massive problems there for Dr. Hunter Skippers. He's off the circuit completely. I don't even know if he's going to get to the line. Industrial Petroleum leads out with Rory Atkinson, and it's Tyler Robinson for 2nd. This is the man for 3rd as they head towards the line. Can you believe that? I don't think Srin Rajpal was expecting to get a podium. He's on for a chance right now. As they come across the line, the flag comes out, and it is going to be Rory Atkinson from Tyler Robinson. Srin Rajpal gifted that podium, and the demise of the Dr. Hunter Skippers out of that race in the closing stages is huge. Winning the Masters, Smallberger takes it from Kruger and Wayne Masters, Barbaglia in 4th. Let's catch up now with Rory Atkinson after race 1's victory.
Poor Hannes, condolences to him. He had a breakdown, second last lap. He had driven an incredible race, but I need the points, so I'll take it and just head down for the rest of the afternoon and see what we can do.
It is nice to see a different man at the top end of the Masters, though. Well done, Derek.
It was what we call a West Rand start. So, yeah, got away and basically maintained the position there. I mean, they were coming and they were in my slip, but I managed to keep it there for the whole race.
After that exciting race number 1, Astron Energy Polo Cup is now sitting on a knife's edge. It really is tension proper down on the grid. Ethan Kutsia will be looking for number 1. Can he get it? Will Judd Berthold be able to use a slightly higher grid position to his advantage? You can see Rory starting further back and Srin as we're on board here. So a little bit of a change up here. Remember, this comes from the fastest lap set in race number 1. So as fast as Srin and Rory were, they weren't quick enough to beat about 6 or 7 cars out front of them. As they head down towards turn 1, it was Kutsia who was quickest, and he was on pole. Nice recovery there and a great work from Works Motorsport to get Dr. Hunter Skippers back on track. He's in 3rd as they came out. We're on board here with Roshan further back looking for a way past on Mo Karodia, who once again is battling down here in about 7th or 8th place on track. Definitely not where the championship leader wants to be. You heard from Rory, he's closed the gap. He hasn't quite got past Mo just yet, but if he has a good finish in this one, that championship is going to tighten up big time. Rajpal side by side with Goodman. Roshan, oh, that's a good bit of driving there from Roshan Goodman in the Team Red car, going side by side with the KwaZulu-Natal man. And that Dubcore machine looking for a way to just keep him out. Oh, little touch. They just had a little tag there. Roshan goes on the dirt. He tucks in and slots in just ahead of his teammate, Milan Emsley. Just behind that, the Masters is led out by the looks of it, Derek Smallberger again. Milan Emsley, he had to take evasive action. So did Nirav. They just tucked back. And, of course, with that, the late braking had to come from Bevan Masters at the back of the pack, who drops right to the back of the field after that little incident between Roshan and Ashrin Rajpal. Oh, look at this stuff. This is the kind of action we like to see. That's a big move coming from Judd Berthold, trying to find a way through on the doctor, but Hannes Schippers was having none of it. He just forced the youngster wide, and the Volkswagen Motorsport car had to take the long way around. We're on board here looking for Tyler's opportunity to close down on Karodia. She goes down the gearbox as they get towards turn 1. Back to the Masters. Top 4 there, basically the same as they were, other than the fact that Masters is now up into 2nd place and Kruger down to 3rd. But it is Derek Smallberger who still leads them out. And he's going to try and look for a double victory here if he can get one. It's not going to do much to the championship because basically Wayne Masters has got that pretty much wrapped up. Had to finish up the 2 heats here and could potentially be having one hand on the trophy by the time they get to Swartkops on the 25th of October. So Kutsia leads out, heading down to Damps, and right on his tail, it's Hannes Schippers, then Judd Berthold. Mo Karodia has made his way through, got ahead now. Tyler Robinson put his head down and trying to get that FOSS 5 and Lee Thompson Racing Machine up into the top 3. Tyler is the 5th car on track as she comes around, and half flying behind her, it's Shrin Rajpal. Good start there from him, as well as from Divyan Naidu again. Naidu and Rajpal have found something special down here in Cape Town this weekend, that is for sure. Let's see what that Production X car can do about the AF Fans machine ahead of him. Down towards turn 5 they come. This is where Hannes Schippers is very good on the brakes. You can see he looks on the inside. Oh, he's got it out of shape though. I was going to say he's so good on the brakes down here normally, and he just locks up a little too hard on that middle pedal, and it's dropped him down, what's that, about 10 positions. He's got back up and going, and he slots in just ahead of Rory Atkinson. Lucky there. Unlucky for Rory though, because Rory was expecting to come through and maybe make a way through. This is Atkinson now, just ahead from Roshan Goodman's point of view. He's on the right, Hannes Schippers is on the left. As they head towards turn 1, Goodman's going to try and get on the inside of both of them. As they climb on the brakes, down the gearbox, they're going to 3rd gear, and it's just Hannes Schippers keeping Rory wide. In fact, he runs him wide. Atkinson running ever so slightly wide, and now Goodman might be able to pounce. Goodman comes through. He has got through. No, he hasn't. There you go. Welcome back to the party, Rory Atkinson, knocking his wing mirror off as he came back on track. So Goodman was trying to fend off the intentions there from that industrial petroleum car, but Rory was having none of it. He was not going to give up 2 positions. He lost 1 to Hannes as Hannes Schippers came back onto the circuit, but managed to keep out Roshan Goodman. Oh, this is brilliant stuff. Roshan Goodman now back on the attack. Maybe a little bit of redemption being sought there by him as they come onto the short straight up towards Sorrel Sweep. And he runs off the circuit again. That's Goodman off track. Oh, look at that wing mirror flapping in the wayside as his teammate sneaks through. Milan Emsley, the 2nd of those Team Red cars at the back. Yeah, he wipes his brow. I would too. This is Hannes Schippers' point of view. This is how he got locked up down into turn 5. It's a good catch though. And see, he didn't work the wheel too hard to catch that, so well done to Hannes Schippers, but it did drop him out of the top 5. It's now up to these 2 to go at it, and Divyan Naidu, all of a sudden finding something special in the closing stages, dives up the inside and gets ahead of Tyler Robinson. So Naidu looking for a top 5. That'll be his best finish of the season if he stays where he is right now. Ethan Kutsia getting the claps and applause from the team. It's Lee Thompson Racing to take the victory, and they'll do 1 and 3 there, with Judd Berthold tucked in between them. As Mo Karodia comes through for 3rd place, that is the 2nd of the Lee Thompson Racing cars. And did Tyler hang on? No, Divyan did. Divyan getting through there for 4th, beating Tyler Robinson, and Shrin Rajpal for another top 6 there for him. Hannes Schippers in 7th after that off track, and there come the Masters with Derek Smallberger keeping Wayne Masters behind him, and John Kruger and Bob Aglia your top 4. Ethan Kutsia's victory gives him a mathematical chance to try and catch Mo Karodia and Rory Atkinson, but with Atkinson down in 8th, that's not what he wanted. It's advantage Mo going into the 3rd race. Let's catch up now with race 2's winner, Ethan Kutsia.
I just had to conserve my tyres for most of the race. I led from start to finish. Hannes started catching me in the end, but I think the pressure got to him and he ended up losing it. So other than that, I had a good race.
Looks like Derek Smallberger might be making a habit of winning these races.
Wayne was there, he was pushing all the time. They fast, these guys. And I just didn't have to make a mistake. When I made one mistake and slipped a gear, and they almost got me. But then I recovered again, and it was fine after that. Won the race.
Looking forward to race number 3 now. Hannes Schippers' luck has turned from good to bad. Can he turn it around in the final one? He's certainly hoping to do that, as is Works Motorsport. There's going to be some big fights at the front end, though, I can tell you, because Tyler Robinson is also looking pretty dangerous and looking for a victory here in the final race. Looks like Rory might be looking for some as well, as he leans forward now. Starting from second on the grid, he'll head down into turn 1, trying to outgun the rest of the field as they head there. And you can see just how difficult it's going to be, because it's Hannes Schippers who started from pole. Can he keep it all together this time? There's a touch in the background. Oh, Rory Atkinson got a little tap from behind. I think that came from Tyler Robinson. Yes, Tyler squeezing through and forcing her way into second place, putting Atkinson sideways. Couple of cars behind, also getting involved in some incidents. Roshan Goodman trying to avoid as well. Man, he's been involved in almost every single incident at the back of the pack. We've had great onboard footage there from the Team Red Man. As they go down towards Cashel Corner now, you can see that's Milan Emsey just in behind him. Just ahead of that, though, it's Bevan Masters side by side with Divya Naidu. But leading things out is the Doctor, Hannes Schippers, and it's Tyler Robinson. Ethan Gutierrez in fourth, then Shren Rajpal. Good start there from Shren. Atkinson just behind him. He's got to try and use Shren to his advantage to try and close that gap down. More importantly, though, he's watching behind because he knows Mo Karodia is behind him, and that's the most important factor there for Rory Atkinson. He cannot afford to be involved in anything that comes up with Mo Karodia, because he's going to try and close that gap down heading to the final round at Zwartkops now in this overall championship. Hannes Schippers just wants the victory. There you can see as they come down looking for Mo Karodia. I don't see the car. I think Karodia's car might have been involved in that first lap incident and is probably on the sideline somewhere near turn 1. We saw there was a bit of a fracas just behind, not only with Rory Atkinson and Tyler's touch, there was some more accidents behind that as well. Let's have a look at it, from Roshan Goodman's point of view. There you can see, getting out of shape. There goes Karodia, inside line, and somebody goes sent to the outside as well. He tries to bring it back onto the circuit. He does. Roshan Goodman goes around the outside, and that is Nirav Singh. So it was Nirav Singh, I think, who came together. This is Tyler's point of view as she taps the back end. Great catch once again from Rory Atkinson, using that experience. But Tyler says, thank you very much, I'll have that, and squeezes through into second. There might be a little chat there between them and the COC afterwards. We'll wait and see. Side by side with John Kruger and Derek Smallberger. Better run here from Kruger. Can he squeeze a victory out of this Cape Town circuit, potentially for the Habart car? As they head towards turn 2, he's on the inside line, and Kruger might get the lead in the Masters. Yes, he does. And Wayne Masters just tucks in behind him as well, looking to squeeze out. Is Smallberger going to drop to third for the first time today? It looks like he might. Oh, that's such a pity. I might have given the commentator's curse. I said he was getting used to the front end. He's now in second with Masters behind him, but it's Kruger who leads out in the Masters category, heading up towards Sorrel Sweep. And just behind that, Barbaglia. Bit of rallycross style there from the Paybar car. As they head onto that back straight away, you can see the gap opening up ever so slightly, with Kruger starting to get a little advantage over Derek Smallberger. Back to the front though, this is Ethan Gutierrez under massive pressure from Shren Rajpal. This is the battle for about 4th and 5th place on track at the moment as they head up onto that main straightaway. Karodia circulating very slowly. They're telling him to stay out there. There are only 16 cars on the track, and it means that he can still score some points if there are other cars that have some problems. So that's probably why the team have told him to stay out on circuit. But he's about to get lapped here by the leaders. That is not what the championship leader wanted in his final race in Cape Town. We're on board with Atkinson coming out of turn 1, heading towards turn 2. Trying to close back on Tyler Robinson. Tyler Robinson looking dangerous, looking for a way through there on Hannes Schippers. Schippers is not going to let anybody through, I can tell you right now. The most difficult man to pass in Cape Town at this point in time is Hannes Schippers in that DDS and Works Motorsport machine. There is no way he's going to give this one up. He was leading by a good margin, and right on that final lap in race 1, we saw him have an issue. I hope it all goes according to plan here. It'll be the first victory that the Doctor gets in Polo Cup if he can stay there. But Atkinson needs the points, and that's why he's fighting so hard to catch Tyler, to find a way through to at least second place and score those second place points. It's going to be vital because that championship is now wide open, and I'm sure they've given him some kind of indication to the car via the pit boards that there is a problem on Mo Karodia's car, and he's just trailing around ever so slowly. When he passed him, he probably got a huge surprise, realizing that that's his championship rival who's now got issues on his car. He concentrates his efforts though to try and find a way through on Tyler, and Tyler does the same thing, trying to catch Hannes Schippers. But the Doctor is in the house today, and in this final race, looks like he's going to do exactly what he needs to try and get that very sought after. And look how happy he is. They go past Karodia. Have a listen. Oh, it's so good to hear a man enjoying a victory like that. Well done, Hannes Schippers. Highly deserved, buddy. You worked hard for that one. Beating out Rory Atkinson and Tyler Robinson to the line. An incredible Dyson in the Masters. It was Kruger this time who beat out Smallberger and Wayne Masters. Barbaglia, the last car to come across there for Paybar. Results for race 3, Skip is taking his first victory ever ahead of Rory Atkinson and Tyler Robinson. Great dice between the three of them. And as we saw, John Kruger taking it ahead of Derek Smallberger and Wayne Masters. There's the happiest man in Cape Town right now, and his teammate's the first man to congratulate him.
We've worked two years quite hard on getting to the front, and again, we've always been like just behind the leaders, and luckily everything played in our favour now in the last race.
And in the favour of John Kruger for the final Masters.
I was hoping for one win out of these 3 races today. At least the last one gave me a win. Yeah, the first 2 were a little hard, not starting from pole, but as I started from pole, I was able to defend and keep them behind me.
After this amazing action at the Killarney International Raceway, we cannot wait to get to Swartkop's International World of Motoring on the 25th of October to wrap up the Astron Energy Polo Cup for 2025. All this action was proudly brought to you by Astron Energy, Volkswagen Motorsport, and Dunlop Tires.